Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to have you welcome the Rialto High School ROTC unit under the direction of Chief Matt and Elias Lozano. If you could please stand. And join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Let me begin.
Ready. Freeze there. Colors. Ready.
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gary. Colors. Ready. Order. Colors. Right. Eight. Forward. Mark.
My name is Larry Thornburg. I'm the Recreation and Community Services Director for the City of Rialto, and I want to welcome you to this event today. We have quite a treat for everybody today. What an honor to have the inductees that we have for our annual Hall of Fame this year. This is our third annual Hall of Fame, and if you'll notice on our wall over here, we have had a couple of years of inductees, and as you'll see behind me, we're probably going to have as many today as we've had the last couple of years. And so we'll probably try to find a new home for the Hall of Fame, and we're looking at putting it over here on our new wall over here. So after the ceremony, you're welcome to take a look at the inductees that have been inducted so far over the last couple of years. This whole event has been the vision of Mayor Pro Tem Baca, and he has really made this thing happen over the last 2 or 3 years. And this year, I think he outdid himself in the inductees that we have for this year, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But we've got some national heroes today, and we've got some local heroes today. So we have a good mix of truly the heroes for the city of Rialto. I'd like to have a couple introductions, if I could, before we get started on the ceremony. I'd like to introduce Congressman Joe Baca, who is here with us today. Thank you very much for attending. Also, we have a representative from Assemblywoman Wilmer Amita Carter's office, Max Tidler and his wife. And I don't know, do we have a representative from Supervisor Josie Gonzalez's office? I know they were tied up today. They have some certificates of recognition as well today. I'd like to introduce our council members today. Obviously, you've met Mayor Pro Tem Baca Jr., but thank you for putting this together. Another great event. Mayor Vargas, Grace Vargas couldn't attend today. And we also have with us Councilmember Ed Scott. Thank you for, Ed Palmer. Sorry. Thank you for your support of us today. And I believe Councilmember Ed Scott could not be here, nor Councilmember Deborah Robertson. But I do want to take the opportunity on behalf of the staff to thank the council for their support of this great event. We have a cheer group, I believe, from the Panthers. Are they here? If they want to come forward, we'll get this started with the cheer. The Panthers are from Junior All-American Football, and most of the teams got games going on, playoffs and so forth. These young ladies, they said they were real nervous, so don't make them too nervous. You're going to do a cheer for us. You got all picked out, right? All right. You can do wherever you would like to do. Okay? So let's hear it for For the Junior All-American Panthers.
Rialto, we're number one. Ready? Okay. Rialto, we're number one. Rialto, we're having fun. Rialto, on top of C, we want our victory. Rialto, we're number one. Rialto, we're having fun. Rialto, on top of C, we want our victory. Last time, Rialto, we're number one. Rialto, we're having fun. Rialto, on top of C, we want our victory.
All right, we're ready to get started. Thank you, young ladies, for that. With that, I'd like to introduce Mayor Pro Tem Joe Baca Jr., who is going to be making the presentations of the Hall of Fame this year. And again, he has done a fantastic job of gathering these people that we have today. We have a great lineup of Hall of Famers this year. So with that, Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
Thank you. Let's give it up for Larry Thornburg and the Parks and Recreation Department. Let's give it up for them. Welcome to the third annual Rialto Sports Hall of Fame, and as the girls said in the cheer, Rialto is number one, so welcome here. And it's a pleasure for you guys to be here today. And the whole intent of the Rialto Sports Hall of Fame was to bring pride and spirit back to the community, not only to recognize those from Rialto who've gone on to do great things, but also those that have stayed here in Rialto and have done great things in the community for youth and sports. So I really appreciate all the hard work and commitment many people have done for our community. So welcome, everybody. But I'd like to acknowledge a couple other elected officials that are here. We're honored to have them here. I'd like to acknowledge John Casalunas, President of the Board of Education. John Casalunas. Give it up for John. Also, a newly elected board member to the Board of Education is Joe Ayala. Give it up for Joe Ayala. Also a member of the County Board of Education representing the school districts of San Bernardino, Rialto, Gil Navarro. And also representing the San Bernardino Community College School District, Jess Vizcaino. A newly elected councilwoman-elect to the first ward in the city of San Bernardino, Virginia Marquez. Well, the first presentation we have is naming of a football field after someone special in our community, someone that has volunteered a lot of time. And before we begin the award presentation, we need to acknowledge this person. She was the first ever president of one of the football leagues, our organization. I'd like to bring Craig Hewitt. Craig Hewitt, please come forward to say a few words on behalf of Mary Resendez. Give it up for Craig Hewitt.
Thank you. I'm happy to stand here before you today to acknowledge the first president of Rialto Popcorn Football, where basically I stand as the president now. Excuse me. In 1977, she had a dream for her son and for her kids in the Rialto community to be able to provide another place for them to be able to play football, cheer for our young ladies. And today, she still stands as a proud leader in our community. And she also serves on the Mount Woggy Conference Board, which oversees 15 cities from Pomona to Victorville to Moreno Valley to Riverside Grove. And today I'm proud to stand here before her, to have her still be a part of this program, part of this community, and have her recognized and have one of these fields be named after her in her honor for all her hard work and dedication. So at this time, I'd like to ask Mary Resendez to step forward.
And just to tell you how this came about, what the city of Rialto did is we have a master plan that we approved, the council approved on October 13, 2009. And we were talking about names of naming football fields, and I mentioned, one of our great heroes that's here today. But the board came to me and says, what, there's someone else that needs to be recognized. So on October 13, 2009, we adopted the Ferguson master plan to build 2 footballs in our city. One of the fields will be named after Mary Resendez. So on behalf of the city of Rialto, I'd like to present you with this plaque with the Mary Resendez football field. Let's give it up to Mary. And we'll have Mary say a few words.
This is really an honor. I never knew it would grow into this. Put many, many years into the program. It's had its ups and downs, just like everything has its ups and downs. We try and do our best to provide an additional source of football and cheerleading for the youth of Rialto and throughout the Inland Empire. It's great. I'm honored, and I love Rialto. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary, for all your commitment and time. And people don't realize how much as a board member, board president, little league coach, football coach, basketball coach, a lot of the hours you put in the community, board meetings, fundraising, sign-ups, tryouts, all these things takes a lot of time. So really, Mary, thank you for everything you've done. And we're honored to have you in our city and to name the football field after. We're real proud of you. Just to let you know the history, we have 6 previous members of the Rialto Sports Hall of Fame. We have Derek Parra, who was an Olympic speed skater, Randy Burton, a 2-time major winner for women's golf. We also have David Lang, who played for the Dallas Cowboys and won a championship ring. And we also have Coach Tom Hoke, who committed many years of coaching for the Eisenhower football staff. And we also have Jeff Conine, who was also inducted in the Sports Hall of Fame and won a world championship ring with the Florida Marlins. So good things happen in Rialto, and good people come from Rialto. We're very honored to have many of them here tonight. The first person we're going to honor is one of the coaches from Rialto High School in the Rialto School District a whole lot of times. His name is Scott Russell. Scott coached baseball at Rialto High School from 1983. In 2005, he moved over to Carter High School, where he coached until 2007. During his coaching career, Scott took back his team to 11 playoff appearances and 7 league championships. Scott's 1995 team lost the CIF section Division IV game to San Marino, but the following year, his team won the title. Scott finished his coaching career with a winning percentage of .648. He also earned several coaching honors over the years, including Countywide Coach of the Year and various publications. Prior to coaching, Scott played baseball for Redlands High School and went on to play at the University of Arizona. I'm very proud of Scott Russell because he was my colleague when I coached at Rialto High School. He recruited me to be a coach with him, and I'll tell you what, he's a class act. He treats his kids really good. He teaches them the value of winning and commitment to playing hard. And also that championship team, my brother-in-law played with, Anthony Ramos, so we're very proud of him. But I'd like to bring up one of his former players to say a few words about it. Let's bring up Gilbert Polito, varsity coach at Eisenhower High School.
Good evening. It's an honor and a privilege actually to be here and to say a couple words about Coach Russell. He was an inspiration to us on the field and off the field. He was a role model. We all looked up to him. You know, he lived, breathed baseball. It was amazing what he did. On the field, he was trying to make us better ball players, which he did. But beyond that, he was also trying to make us better people. And I can say for myself and those guys that I still talk to that he did a fabulous job of making us, better human beings in the community as individuals, so on and so forth. I was on that 1995 team that lost at Anaheim Stadium and came back my senior year and ended up winning the championship. And it was one of those things where, the hard work, the hours that we put into the program finally paid off. And I think it was not a tribute to our hard work, but to the hard work that Coach Russell actually put into the program. And one of the things about Coach Russell that, everybody who knows him knows, he's very humble. He will never say that it was because of him. He will say it was because of my players. They worked hard. And so, again, Coach Russell, it's an honor to be here to say these words about you. Thank you for everything you've done.
Russell, please come forward and say a few words. Just so you know, we'll have a special unveiling after all the awardees are announced. Let's give it up for Coach Scott Russell.
Thank you very much. Thank the Recreation Department and for Joe Baca and Mr. Baca here for them honoring me. It's really humbling to be up here. Like Gilbert said, it was because of the other coaches we have and the players. One guy doesn't do it all himself. We were fortunate. I was fortunate to surround myself with good people that thought the same way I did, had the passion for the game, the hard work ethic, that wanted to win. And I want to mention a few of those coaches. They're not here right now, but you may know them. John Jackson, my longtime pitching coach. Bob Whitesell, who's still the hitting coach up at Carter High School. Who else? We have Rick Botras and Darren Espinoza down at Rialto High School. They're still down there. Steve Searle, Billy O'Rourke, Rose Leather, just a ton of guys that I surrounded myself with, and they helped me to be up here today. And also the players, the Gilbert Politos, the Forrest Johnson, the Ricky Nolasco, who's on the wall over there, the Josh Whitesells, all these ball players that put in all the hard work, commitment, loyalty, and dedication, and were fierce competitors and wanted to be successful. That's why I'm up here today. I'd also like to thank my family back there, especially my wife. That's the best coaching wife you could ever have, and I thank you for her. And the last thing, I want to thank God for giving me the strength and the passion and energy to coach as long as I did, and the strength and the willpower to get through some tough times down there. We lost a couple of players through death, and he got us through that, so I thank you for that and for what he taught me in coaching. That early in my coaching career, winning meant everything to me, and I hated losing, and I put a lot of pressure on myself. The more you win, the more people expected you to win, and I was kind of miserable, and he finally got my attention to make sure I put him first, and once I did that, man, I enjoyed coaching because I knew he'd take care of the wins and losses, and I've learned that if I put God first, that he'll take care of things in his way and in his timing. So that was probably the most things I ever learned through coaching. So thank you again for inducting me into the Hall of Fame. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Coach Russell. Thank you, Coach Russell, for your commitment to our community. And people don't realize that coaches don't get paid a lot of money for high school. They commit a lot of personal time, a lot of energy into the program. And actually, Scott Russell gave of his own personal salary so other coaches can get paid. So thank you, Coach Russell. The next inductee to the Rialto Sports Hall of Fame is known as Mr. Baseball Rialto. It has a long following, has really developed and fostered many young girls to go on and do great things, get scholarships, and do a lot of things in this community. And that's Rialto girls softball guru, Bill Batt. Bill has devoted countless hours to the Rialto Girls Softball League for the past 39 years. He first managed a junior team in 1970. During his tenure with the league, Bill has served on the board in various capacities, including president. For 6 years, under Bill's leadership, the league has groomed a number of girls to play Division I colleges. Bill was also instructional in establishing the girls softball fields at Frisbee Park for the girls Rialto softball program. And I have the experience of growing up in Rialto, and at one time they played at Bemis Elementary. They didn't have a home field, so I just want to thank Bill Batt for fighting for the women, getting them a field. And the next 2009 Hall of Fame inductee is Bill Batt, Rialto girls softball.
I was going to sit on the other end for a fast escape here. I just want to say, everybody tells me I talk too much, but the only thing I really wanted to say today is, and I'm sure that John and Roger here, both, even Scott, people who have been involved in these leagues, know that the only reason we're still here is because of you. All these people who come year after year, support their kids, support the league. And without it, it wouldn't happen. So I just want to say thanks to all of you for making it happen.
Congratulations, Bill Bennett. Thank you, ladies, for being here to support them. Congratulations. The next honoree is also known as Mr. Little League, who has devoted a lot of time to his community, even has a park named after him in the city of Rialto. And the next recipient for the 2009 Rialto Sports Hall of Fame, Roger Birdsall. In 1952, Roger organized the first Little League baseball program in Rialto. Later went on to serve 46 years as the District 21 Little League administrator. Under Roger's leadership, District 21 grew from 8 leagues to 19. The park located across the street from Carter High School is named after Roger Birdsall in Roger's honor. Please welcome Roger Birdsall.
Thank you, Joe, for this honor. I truly appreciate it. You should learn, though, you never want to put a microphone out in front of me because I might not shut up. But I would be remiss if I didn't remind the audience here that I only helped start Little League Baseball. I happen to be the only one still alive. I think that's the reason. But Jim Eichelhart, who lived up on North Eucalyptus, and Howard Hess, who lived there just across the street from this famous park where softball was started, and Alec Ferguson, who is a past city councilman and well known and has a park named after him. The 4 of us were the ones that got that park, got Little League going here in Rialto back in 1952. I also, at this time, would want to thank my son and his wife for coming all the way from El Centro. They flew up this morning, and I think some of you probably know Steve because he went to Eisenhower High School. He was about 4 or 5 years old when I got started in Little League. And then also my friend from Rancho Cucamonga, whose son was in Little League in Rancho Cucamonga when it first got started, Mary Drake. Mary? And I also want to thank G and Holly Guerrero for attending. G and Holly have taken over my duties as a Team 14 host for the Alaska Little League team that came in. G and Holly, thank you very much. You remind me so much of the way we used to do it. They really do a great job of entertaining them. I was very fortunate to be on the ground floor of getting the Western Regional headquarters started. I tried to do my best to get it started here, get it here in Rialto, but unfortunately it went to North San Bernardino, and I've been involved in that very much until the last couple of years. The only duties that I have left in Little League now is I help take care of the golf tournament that we have every year. And as Joe Baca can tell you, golf is really my passion right now. And with that, I want to thank again for this honor. Thanks, Joe.
Congratulations, Roger Birdsall. And thank you for everything you've done for District 21 Little League, which is like a region of all-stars that play together and go on and move on and eventually go on to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And because of you, me and my brother, Jeremy, who's played for District 21, had an opportunity to play. So thank you, Roger, for that opportunity. The next person we are electing to the Sports Hall of Fame, John Silva, Junior All-American Football. Give it up for John Silva. John has dedicated, big fan club, I like that, I like the spirit. John has dedicated 36 years to coaching in the Rialto Junior All-American Football program. During that time, he has won a number of postseason Super Bowls in the micro and midget divisions. John has coached boys and have gone on to play for Division I teams. In In 2007, John was honored as a Lehman Award winner for District 11 of the California Park and Recreation Society. John has been long committed. He even tried to recruit me to play football many years ago, but I didn't like to get hit. But we appreciate John really reaching out to our kids. Let's give it up for John Silva. Please come forward, John Silva.
Yeah, you know me. I try to talk everybody to play football. We even had girls that played in our league, and I just wish that every boy out here would come out and play. It's all about doing things right. Everybody says kids don't want discipline. They want discipline. I've been involved because I want to touch the kids. Thank you.
And actually, two of the individuals have a ball field named after them. Bill Batt and Roger Broadshaw have fields named after them in the city of Rialto. Next council meeting, I will be bringing forward that we name the Rialto Football Park and the Rialto Little League after John Silva. He deserves it. He deserves it, John. You're right, it is about time. The next person we are putting in the Rialto Sports Hall of Fame is Al Jury, National Football League official. Give it up for Al Jury. At the age of 18, Al started officiating high school games after graduating from Pacific High School in San Bernardino. In high school, Al was a four-sport athlete after officiating and moved on to officiate junior college and then college football, joining the Pac-8 Conference in 1972. In 1978, at age 35, Al was hired by the NFL. He was an All-American coach and also served in the NFL from 1978 to 2004. Over the course of his NFL career, he was selected to officiate a record-tying 5 Super Bowls. In 2004, Al was forced to retire after breaking his leg during the game. Al serves as an assistant supervisor for the instant replay officials for the NFL. Let's give it up for Al Jury, National Football League official. We don't have a representative here. His son was supposed to be here today, but couldn't make it. And Al's actually working still in the NFL, working on the weekend. So we want to congratulate Al. I'm sure Ronnie probably argued with him a few times while they were on the football field. Didn't agree with his plays, but congratulations. Let's give it up for Al Jury. The next inductee to the Rialto Sports Hall of Fame is someone that I've known for quite some time. We actually went to high school together, and I'm very proud of her. And that's Lisa Marie Barone, professional wrestler. Let's give it up for Lisa. Lisa Marie is a graduate of 1989 from Eisenhower High School, where during her senior year she was the homecoming queen and nationally recognized cheerleader. She briefly competed in fitness, where in 1990 she earned a pro card as an IFBB fitness competitor. Lisa Marie next moved to professional wrestling. She was the WWE champ from 2000 to 2009, where she won twice. In 2009, she joined TNA and earned her first women's championship with TNA. At this time, we're honored Lisa Marie is still wrestling with TNA and preparing to compete in mixed martial arts firefighter. She's also known as Victoria, one of her wrestling names, and Tara the Tarantula. Let's give it up for Lisa Marie Barone.
I didn't bring my spider today, so I wrote my speech. I'm used to getting in the ring and just kicking butt, so forgive me. But this is a true honor. I really, truly appreciate this. It's an honor to receive this along with such distinguished sportsmen, coaches, officials, state champion athletes, and Mr. Lott. I'm not really too familiar with the NFL, but someday with good marketing, they'll be just as popular as TNA wrestling. Okay, but serious note, I'd like to thank the city of Rialto not only for the honor of inducting me into the Hall of Fame, but for teaching me the lessons that allow me to be the person worthy of this honor. When I was challenged with the curriculum at Frisbee Junior High, I went to school early, and the teachers helped me so that I can excel. And I remember her name, Miss Panoyer. I don't know if she's still around, but you remember her? Whew, she was a tough teacher. Mean, very mean. Thanks, Joe. But I thank her. She would not, without her, I would not be here. And when I sought out an extracurricular activity, I joined cheerleading, the Eisenhower Eagles cheerleading team. Again, we worked hard as a team, became national champions. My experiences in the city of Rialto stayed with me. At an early age, I learned that with hard work, anything is possible. I learned to work well within a team. These are lessons that have led me to become a 3-time world champion. And tomorrow, on TNA pay-per-view, cheap plug, which I expect all of you to watch, I will be stepping into a steel cage with the amazing Kong, who was last year named the best female wrestler in the world. This is a dream come true for me, and whether I win or lose, will be a great show, and I will give it my all, because that is what I learned in Rialto, California. Lastly, I'd like to thank my family, who's here, my mom and dad, Haiti and Angel, and who has sacrificed a lot. I missed a lot of birthdays, anniversaries, funerals, just because of the sacrifice of being a pro wrestler, being on the road 5 days a week. So my brothers, great role models, Mike Soul, Bobby Soul, who's a Pan Am Gold Olympic winner, and I would not be here without great role models like you, and I thank you. Thank you, Rialto.
Congratulations, Lisa. Good luck tomorrow against Kong, and Kong is a big girl, so good luck. And for the cheerleaders that are here today, this is going to be you, the next professional wrestler, making lots of money. So good to you. You've got dolls and figurines and baseball cards and everything after her, so look forward to that. Okay, the next group we'd like to do, it's kind of different. We have our state championship team. If you look at the banner up to your left, Eisenhower High School boys basketball team. Let's give it up. State champs, 2009 champs. Got a moment in Rialto history. The 2009 Eisenhower boys basketball team won the Division II Boys California CIA Championship. Eagles' victory marked the first ever California Interscholastic Federation state title for the school from San Bernardino County, first ever. The team finished 30-3 overall and was number 9 in the final state rankings. Team members included Nazareth Richardson, Andrew Bach, and Andrew Bach is on a scholarship right now, so let's get up for Andrew. Let's get up for Andrew. Scholarship. Henry Vincent, Kirby Gardner, Bernard Ireland, Darren Lockett. Yeah! That's okay. I'm proud. Alex Varner, Keon Sales, Toriano Harris, Nicholas Carter, Devin Garner, Brian Bach. Coaching staff included head coach Steve Johnson, assistant coaches Vetus Reed, Alan Buteman, John Costa, Eric Jackson, and Ray Jimerson, and managers Melanina Knowles, Ayutundi Ayo. She goes by Ayo. And let's give it up for the 2009 Eisenhower High School Championship team. Coach Johnson, please come forward. Bring the whole team come up here. The whole team come up here. Coaches come forward. Be proud of this moment.
We'd like to thank everybody here for this honor. This is a good day to do this. We start practice today. These are all our returners. And obviously today's going to probably be a long day for these guys. I had a kid trying out for basketball yesterday, asked me what time practice is over. So he asked one of these guys. I told him to ask one of those guys. He says, when it's over. But the one thing is it takes the hard work. And these guys bust their butt last year. And it's good timing that this is happening because we're trying to forget all this stuff and do it again. And that's what everybody asks, are we going to do it again? And but it does take a lot of work. We had a lot of close games in the playoffs, and you have to have a little luck involved in all this stuff too. But we thank you, we thank Mr. Baca for inviting us up here today. He has come and played a little basketball with the guys. He is much better at this than playing basketball. We have all found out. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Let's give it up for the 2009 championship team. I thought this was an honor, not a roast. But you know what? I do want to thank them, and I am very proud to have my championship ring that the school board has given to me. Let's give it up for this championship ring. Congratulations to all of you.
Excuse me, can I just say something? We were at the game last year, when we played, and we were sitting on the Rockland side, and they were just like harassing us and everything. And they said, I said, we beat you guys down the road. You guys are taller than us. I said, the lady kept telling me, well, that was then, this is now. And after the game, she said, I guess you were right. That was a good team right there.
It's a great team. Give it up for Eisenhower. The next team we want to induct into the Rialto Sports Hall of Fame is Eisenhower High School 1993 CIF State Champions. Let's give it up for 1993 CIF State Champions. The 1993 Eisenhower High School football team went 14-0 and defeated Santa Ana Modern Day 56-3. They spanked the powerhouse. The team finished the season ranked second in the nation behind Cleveland St. Ignatius. And they had several team members. They had Coach Hope who led them. But one of the things that I really admired about the team, and I pulled this out of a CIF magazine, that 7 of the players received a Division I scholarship from Rialto, California. Let's give it up for them. And those players were Julius McChristian, Glenn Tompkins, Marlon Farlow, Arthur Lloyd, Ricky Austin, Monty Taviga, and Chris Lee, and also the current coach of Eisenhower High School, Coach Lord, was also on that team. I'd like to bring up Coach Hope. Please come up, Coach Hope, 1993 CIF State Champions.
Thank you everyone for coming out this morning. This has done a great thing. We started last year to the city of Rialto. This is a tremendous event, and I'm so proud to be up here. It's a great honor to be able to accept this for our 1993 team. There are a lot of folks here who have been involved with team sports, and you know that it's certainly not about one person. As I look around the room today, I can see some people that by all rights should be up here before myself. I see John Silva, an inductee today, who gave us so much time and money, buying pizza lunches for the team, and John has been a loyal supporter for years. I see the Valentines up in the top up there who never missed a game. And of course the folks that should be up here are the Tompkins, Tom and Burnett back there. Burnett was the president of our booster club, our Gridiron club back then, and their son was our quarterback who was a all-CIF, all-state quarterback that year. I think the only two, Aaron, is that you back there? Aaron and Bernard, why don't you guys come up here? I think those are the only two team members. Who else? Oh, Julius, come on up here. Didn't recognize your uniform. I won't drag it out too long, but when the season opened up in '93, we had a pretty good run of success during the '80s and the early '90s. And at the beginning of the season, we were ranked #2 team in the country by USA Today. And naturally, the local papers jumped on that, and they asked me if I thought we deserved it. And frankly, I thought we had too many weaknesses that year. Number one, we didn't have depth at all. We were not very big. We had several positions where we had, for example, wide receiver, where no one had ever played wide receiver at high school level before. And I said, I don't know about #2 and 3 in the country. We're going to be pretty good, but that might be a stretch. Fortunately for us, football is a game of morale. And if you watch TV, they'll talk about team chemistry, about how team chemistry will trump talent sometimes. if a team plays hard together and you have great people playing. And this 93 team was an example of that, the ultimate team chemistry. The coaching staff, we often say that we could have gone off home on any given day, and this team would have practiced hard whether we were there or not. This is truly a team effort. I've never been involved in 30 years of high school football, never a team with so much leadership and enthusiasm. These guys were all key players that year, and they know what I'm talking about. It's kind of one thing, when they get together, they all know exactly. They overcame everything. We just had, everything went right that year, and we just had a great experience for everyone. I will mention Bernard, he probably made the play of the year that year. He mentioned the championship game that we won 56-3. The week before that, the semifinals, we only won 7-3. And we were hanging on to a 7-3 lead late in the fourth quarter. We were playing a team called Crespi. They were inside the 10-yard line, first down, going in. And thankfully, they called the pass, threw the ball in the end zone. Bernard intercepted it, ran it back out to preserve the victory. So he gets a little special spot in Eisenhower history for that, because had he not been there, might not have been in the Big A that next Saturday night. Anyway, thank you very much. Okay. Even you guys want to come up? Bernard, come on. You wouldn't believe they're aggressive football players, would you?
We're just glad we were able to make it out today, and we wish, like Coach Oak said, it was a team effort. A lot of us actually played for Coach John Silva, and we played together, and I think that's all we're starting. We grew up playing through these leagues, from the time we were 8 years old, and, it's a blessing, for us to have the team around that we did, and again, a lot of what we did the Junkies, we started out at 8 years old, and we all grew up, and we ended up at the same high school, and, you just couldn't build a better family than that, so thank you.
Let's give it up to the 1993 Eisenhower State Champs. Some good things happening in Rialto, a lot of pride and spirit here, so we appreciate these kids working hard, our coaches, and good things happening. It makes me feel real proud to be from Rialto. The next is we have a special presentation. One of the things we do is we have someone who's been involved in this community for over 30 years, and is really a passionate person about sports, someone I'm very proud of, played a lot of softball, played hardball, was told he was too small, was told he could never go on and do great things, but he proved people wrong, and he's really committed about sports and golf and really giving back, and he really wants to start a first tee program here in the city of Rialto. And I'd like to acknowledge the next recipient in the Sports Hall of Fame, HR 1243, that was introduced by Congressman Joe Baca. Let's give it up for Congressman Joe Baca. On September 30th, 2009, President Barack Obama signed into law his legislation, HR 1243, the Arnold Palmer Congressional Gold Medal Act. This bill was authored by Congressman Joe Baca, representing the city of Rialto, and it passed in the 111th Congress. The bill officially recognizes Palmer for his service to the nation and promoting excellence and good sportsmanship in golf. The legislation first passed by the Senate September 9, 2009, and this is on Palmer's 80th birthday. Congressman Baca currently serves as a member of the House Professional Sports Caucus and chair of the Caucus Golf Committee. And also, I'd like to read a letter that was actually sent to the city of Rialto from the famous Arnold Palmer. To the city of Rialto, I write to give you my sincere thanks for the recognition you bestow upon me by introducing HR 1243, the Arnold Palmer Congressional Gold Medal Act, into the Rialto Sports Hall of Fame. I also want to thank Congressman Joe Baca for his persistence and hard work in making this legislation a reality. I am grateful for the many opportunities I've had in my life, not only to play the game I love, but also to positively impact the lives of others.
Again, I want to thank the City of Rialto for this recognition. Sincerely, Arnold Palmer. Congressman Joe Baca. Let's give it up for Congressman Joe Baca. HR 443.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, to the Mayor Pro Tem, thank you very much for putting on this event each and every one of the years. I know that it's a third year, but it takes individuals that are dedicated to care about our community that want to bring a lot of pride. And I think, as you've seen by all of the awardees, and of course the next one really is the grand finale that we're all waiting to hear from, but it brings pride into our area, which is very important in the city of Rialto. When you look at the football teams that were just recognized, the basketball team that just did an outstanding job, the individuals that just got inducted in each of the areas, I think it's important for a lot of us because you've got to bring pride into the community. When you have pride in the community, you bring the community together. And that's what the Mayor Pro Tem, Joe Baca Jr. has done by trying to have the Hall of Fame out here because, when you look up here, you see your names and you see the individuals that have come out of here, individuals that cared about them. Each one of the coaches that we've had out here have dedicated themselves. And I think that's important when you look at it, whether it's softball, whether it's Little League, whether it's junior football, whether it's baseball or Little League, it's important for a lot of us. And that's why, I really just want to say thank you, to the Mayor Pro Tem. Give him a round of applause because we wouldn't be where we're at right now. To the awardees, I say to the inductees, congratulations to each and every one of you. You all really deserve it because I think it was stated here when the coach from the football team said, it's about chemistry, it's about coming together, playing together. And sometimes people will look at you and think that you don't have the potential or the ability, but if you've got the heart or the honest and the dedication, is that you can overcome a lot of those obstacles. And I know that the Hall of Famer that we're about to recognize too as well, he's got 2 Hall of Fames. I mean, he's got the big one, he's got the little one out here as well. But the little one's going to be a lot more in the heart of the family's here. And it took a lot of heart and dedication when people tell you, that you couldn't make it. The basketball team, Steve Johnson, you did an outstanding job in bringing all of these kids together. When they look at it, they look at their heights, and they say, you know what, these kids, they're not going, we're going to beat them. You look at somebody else, but everybody has to put on the same uniform like you do. They have to get on the basketball court. They have to perform. It's who can perform out there and who's willing to give it that little extra and willing to work a little bit hard. And that's why I've always believed in telling my kids and others is never give up, is that if you work hard enough, you can achieve whatever you want. There'll always be people telling you that you can't achieve whatever you'd like to do. People always told me, Joe, you're too small. I'm not going to be on the basketball team. I proved I played, not only high school ball, but I played junior college ball. And then at that point, I decided to become a professional baseball player, which I'm still looking for that day, maybe never that day. But Lord, I know I'm going to be up there. But when I'm there, maybe I'll make that team. But we all strive, and it's the striving that we did, and I think that's important. A lot of us is never giving up. And I think that today's a good example by the comments that have been said already, each and every one of them that have been here. And the wrestler, it's fantastic to be someone you can set an example because you, along with the rest, are role models. And I think that's important when people can look up and say that you've made it and what you've gone through in terms of life. And that's important for a lot of us. People say, well, you're not going to be professional, or you're not going to be a wrestler, you're not going to make it, why don't you go out and do something else? Well, you stuck with it, and you made it, your son. And all of you are positive role models, and that's what the inductees have to do now. In reference to Arnold Palmer, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the Arnold Palmer legislation. It's not as easy as what people think when you introduce legislation because you're a politician, you're recognized, and you have clout. It doesn't happen that easy. Arnold Palmer is one of the few individuals that got a congressional gold medal. And guess what? Rialto will always be in the map because it was an individual from this area that introduced the legislation. So when you look at Arnold Palmer getting the congressional gold medal, not only did the president just sign it a couple of months ago, but we're actually going to be having a ceremony with the actual gold medal. And the gold medal is worth $48,000, by the way. That's quite a lot, you know. So nobody go in his home and, you know, take it. But in getting the medal alone, it was a very difficult process, trying to get the 435 members in Congress to agree to it and vote on it, and then trying to get on to the Senate, but the Senate basically, nothing ever happens in that area, and they never want to do anything. But I didn't take no for an answer, and I was consistent and persistent in trying to make sure that the legislation was able to pass, and we were able to do it in honor of a man who was given so much, not only the game of golf, but what they've done is they've given back to the community. And for those of you athletes that are here right now, that are striving in that direction, you never can tell when someone is going to recognize you. It's not only about what you achieve, but it's what you give back to the communities and how you change someone else's life. That's very important. And someone's going to look up to you and says, you know what, I am going to recognize you because you gave back to the community. Not only were you an outstanding athlete or a wrestler, but you gave back something to the community, and that's important for a lot of us to remember. And that's why Arnold Palmer has given so much in terms of the hospitals and children's and prostates and women's care. He's done so much in the area, and that's why he was also recognized. So it's a message that I want to say to all of you. Remember to always give back, and if you give from within your heart and you touch someone's life, the Lord is going to bless us, and He's going to remember. So again, we praise the Lord for giving us the guidance and thanks, and I'm honored to receive this. And you know, when a politician takes the mic, he usually speaks quite a lot, so there wasn't any flashcards that went out, but I really want to thank them. I want to thank again the school board as well, John Casalunas that's here, Joy Ayala that's out here, the city councilman. You know, the reason why I had to also do this legislation, you know, Ed Honors on there, and if I didn't do that, you know, he would say, hey, you know, I'm related to him, so I wouldn't be able to get this legislation. So again, thank you all.
Congratulations, Congressman. Thank you for recognizing the city of Rialto and introducing that legislation.
The next person is probably one of the most famous Rialto people on the planet right here. That's our next Hall of Famer, 2009 Hall of Fame inductee, Ronnie Lott, professional football player. Give it up for Ronnie Lott. Thank you, Ronnie. Let's give it up for Ronnie Lott.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to thank God for all the blessings that He has given my family. My family's here. My mom and dad are here. You know, I was just sitting in the back. It's something about sitting in the back that you realize that you're envious. I'm envious. I'm envious because of what you guys did. I mean, I was sitting there cheering for you. And I'm envious because you got something that I never got. I mean, I'd love to be a champion. I'd love to be a champion. And I'd love to be a champion in Eisenhower. I played hoops, and believe me, Coach, love it. I love it. I was sitting there rooting for you guys. I thought my daughter's boyfriend, I thought he was going to play against you guys, but they lost in the semifinals, but I was rooting for you guys. I was very proud. You know, the football team, much respect. To win a championship, as you guys well know, you talked about the chemistry. It is very difficult to have. And I'm just, again, envious. Just sitting in the back envious, because I know Coach Hope, he had a chance to coach me. We couldn't get there. So we didn't have enough talent. We didn't have what you had. And I'm envious of what you guys were able to do. Obviously, all the officials that are here, and it's amazing because I got to shake your hand. You were doing it back in 1952. And when you think about that, at least in my mind, is that you were doing something that you didn't have to do. And somebody just talked about extending themselves, and my dad does that. And so I'm sure back in 1952, you guys had something in common. And he still does it. And And I'm proud of him, but I'm also proud of you because I know what you do for young people. And for all the recipients here, Lisa, I cracked up when you talked about Frisbee, and you said you were struggling there. I said, yeah, we have something in common. I struggled at Frisbee as well, so we have something in common. But I think the most important thing is that I saw I think somebody mentioned the parents that were here. I think it was somebody's parents, the Hopkins parents. Tompkins, excuse me, Tompkins. You stand up for a second. I wanted to point you out is that, you know, parents that are here, it's so important. You know, the reason it's so important is because I know, and just watching and being around and seeing from afar, that you guys played an important role in his life. And for me, to know my parents, and to know what they've done, and to see all the parents that are here, I mean, everybody's had a chance to recognize their parents. But it's invaluable. It's invaluable in our society right now that we have our parents involved, we have our parents engaged. And I really want to just point you guys out because I know what you guys did for this community and what you've done for your family. So, thank you. In closing, I just want to, you know, as everybody has done in their own little way, I'm touched. I'm touched. Somebody said something about the big Hall of Fame, and I was touched there. But I was touched there is because I did it for all the right reasons. I wanted to be great. But I also wanted to represent Eisenhower. I wanted to represent Rialto. And now here I am being inducted into the Rialto Hall of Fame. And Joe, I know how hard you work. I've heard about how hard you work. I know that you put a lot of effort into this, and I appreciate this. I truly do, and I know my family does. And so, with that, I'm grateful, and I'm honored, and thank you. Thank you very much. It ranks right up there with all of them. I'd love to get another yellow jacket. But since I don't get another yellow jacket, I'll take the plaque. And again, to all of you guys that are out here, especially to the young people, the young girls that are out here that were cheerleading, to all you young people out here, and to all of us, we all have something in common, and it's the greatness that we all strive for. And I just know when I watch these guys, when I see the young people, when I see the kids, reach for your greatness in life. I mean, that's all you have a chance to accomplish, and I know that that's something that I still try to do. It's very difficult to do when you're not playing football, but I can tell you this, there's nothing that's going to ever stop me from making a great play, and I believe that you can make great plays every day, so thank you very much.
Give it up for Ronnie Lott. Thank you, Ronnie. And as we mentioned, on October 13, 2009, the City Council voted to name a football field after Mary Resendez. But there's also 2 football fields on there. And the other one we're going to name after Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott. Congratulations, Ronnie.
Gary, I love sharing the field with you, and you standing right by your side. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ronnie. And as Ronnie mentioned, we worked very hard to get him here, and I'd like to have Councilman Palmer share the story about when we were up north. Want to share that story, Councilman Palmer? Come share that story when we were up north at a conference.
I was just elected about a year ago, so I got an opportunity to go with my fellow council people to Sacramento for the first time. And after, first day, we had to be back in the afternoon to catch our flight back home. And Pro Tem said, well, let's go down and see Ronnie Lott. Got in a rental car and drove from Sacramento. He goes, it's only about an hour away. And when we got in our car, started driving, I think our flight was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, we left about 8:30, 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, we're still on the road. And Councilman Scott and I were going, Joe, where are we going? It's just down the road. 11 o'clock, we're still on the road. We're going through San Francisco. We're going past San Francisco. We're going towards San Jose. It's now like 12:30. Our flight leaves at 1 o'clock in Sacramento. We're on the road at 12:30. We ended up going to his office and what's your nonprofit organization? Down towards San Jose. We get there, we go up to the door, hi, we're going to see Ronnie Lott. He's not in his office. Needless to say, we couldn't make it back to Sacramento, so we ended up going to San Jose Airport and convincing them to put some fire out of there. That's city politics for you. That's how hard we drove down to see if we could get a hold of Ronnie. I had never met Ron before today, but I'm his brother's attorney, his dad's attorney. I've worked for them for years. Susie, I used to work for the city and sister. One thing is, I went up to him and I said, you know, we have a lot more in common than you think. I said, you used to sleep in my bedroom. When I grew up in Rialto, we lived up in North Rialto. After my parents got divorced, they had to sell their house, and they sold their house to the lots. So they moved in right after we did. So I grew up in a house that Ron and his family grew up.
Congratulations. Thank you, Councilman Palmer. A lot of commonalities here. Congressman Baca was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico, so was Ronnie Lott. Ronnie Lott went to Frisbee Junior High. Lisa Barone went to Frisbee Junior High. I went to Frisbee Junior High. And then a lot of us went to Eisenhower High School, so there's a lot of common paths that we've taken here, but we're all here together in one place. And I'd like to thank two of our sponsors who actually paid for what we're going to unveil. I'd like to give it up for David Lewis and the Lewis Corporation for sponsoring the event. Thank you, David Lewis. And also the coffee today was provided by one of our local businesses, Coffee Nuts. Let's give it up for Coffee Nuts. Thank you for providing the coffee for us. Now is the moment we've been waiting for, is the unveiling of the plaque. So we can get all the recipients, our staff, and we'll have the members that are going to go next to the plaques, but we also have certificates of recognition for all the members here, from Congressman Joe Baca, Assemblymember Wilma Mina Carter, Supervisor Josie Gonzalez, and the City of Rialto, who have certificates for all the recipients today. But now if we could have all the recipients go to their plaques, their names are posted on the back, and we'll do the unveiling together. I need your help, audience, to help with the unveiling. All right, let's count it off together as we unveil the Hall of Fame ceremony plaque. I need all of your help. 1, 2,